to the Help to Adjust podcast, If Testimony Was a Person, where today we have someone who is definitely in the wellness industry, but on a different level than a doctor or even a therapist. Physical wellness, fitness is, I think, a major component of wellness. And you have started your own company. Before that, worked with gyms on a high level.
Yes.
And now I was very pleased to see that you have over 300,000 followers on Instagram. I would like to introduce Mr. Khalil Carter of Stay Fit Culture.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Welcome,
Glad to
man.
be here.
So you're not a native New Yorker, but you kind of were raised in New York,
I
right?
sure was. Brooklyn?
You were born in Brooklyn?
No. It's
Born in
Philadelphia,
born in
Pennsylvania.
Philly, but
Yes.
spent a significant amount of time in
Yes, I
Brooklyn.
moved there as a child. Went to school.
Yeah.
Back and forth from here.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia.
And went to the famous Franklin K. Lane High School for a little bit.
Oh, my cousin went there. I went to 72 and 218. It was on
Oh,
my
I
way.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
But I know about Franklin K.
you know about it. And then you graduated from school in Philly,
Yes.
and for a little bit you went to Howard University.
Something like a semester. And
Yeah.
then I came back home after my grandparents died. My grandmother.
Yeah, tell me about that. So you come home, and what happens?
She was sick, breast cancer. She didn't make it. Spread to her lungs. I don't think I really had much interest in going to college anyway at that time. I played sports. I played basketball. That was what I liked. But I think when my grandmother passed away, it took whatever I had in me, or probably just an excuse I made because I really didn't have my mind made up to doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So I used whatever I could to just stop.
Mm-hmm. The grandmother in Black culture is usually a big part of the family. She sounds like she was a major part of your life.
Oh, she was, man. Nothing's been the same since she has been there. You know, Thanksgiving ain't the same. You know how I mean, macaroni and cheese ain't the same. You know what I mean? You know, I do my best, but you know, miss her. But her legacy lives on throughout me now. I understand it's a culture, and you know, sometimes it takes a village. So we have a pretty big family.
So take me back into that late teens and 20s. You mentioned that you were working, but not really loving those jobs you were working at.
Nah, how could I? I mean, you know, growing up, my grandfather was a general contractor, construction engineer.
Yeah.
Heck of a title, man. He just basically did everything, blueprints. He knew everything. I was supposed to be working with him. You know, I would go out Saturdays, weekends, work with him. He's in one room putting up a wall. I'm in the other room knocking one down. So, you know,
Yeah.
it just destructive, you know, normal child. Think I'm helping, but I'm making it worse. So I never picked up that trade, and I wish I did, but I didn't. I wanted to do other things. I had aspirations of going in the NBA or playing football and things that I seen that I thought was really good.
Yeah.
So that was how early life was for me doing that, and I didn't make that NBA yet either.
Mm-hmm. And then you did a little stint in hip hop. Tell me about that.
Oh man, hip hop. I would say that's a part of my past. I was happy enough to finally do some things. Now, you know, congratulations to most people. They're making a lot of money now. When I was doing it, I don't think it was set up for that. You know, we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
We didn't have all the outlets. But that is actually something that I did, and I enjoyed writing music and rapping, but that is not some of the proudest work that I want to talk about.
Okay.
I'm not that. I will let you know. I did a lot of things, Rockefeller, state property, whole Philly movement, but I think I did more destructive damage to the world with music because the things that I was talking about, guns, hip hop, drugs, women, it really, if I died today or tomorrow, and I went in front of God, and He said, "Sing that song you did with Jay-Z." What song? I don't know. I think you already know. I don't want to sing that.
Yeah.
But if He was to ask me what I'm doing now, I'd be really happy to talk about it because I'm out here trying to make a difference every day, and I'm saving lives.
I talk about that often, that the choices that we make about what we want to do every day, even to earn a living, if it can coincide with your values,
Oh yeah.
that's a beautiful thing. It's the famous quote that I always say, probably say it too much. When you can do, when you can do well financially and do good at the
Oh
same time.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's principles, moral.
Right.
You know what I mean, standards.
Yep.
I like that.
So you, so tell me about the emergence of fitness into your consciousness and how it grew into something.
Well, I first started, I was overweight. I was 350 pounds at one time. Unhappy. I knew I needed some help. I mean, I was pretty much in pretty good shape because I was an athlete. I played sports. And I knew how to maintain things. But what I didn't know how to do was get that weight off of me. So, I mean, we didn't have YouTube then, but we had books and we had things. I thought maybe just running and eating what I want. All this did was make me maintain what I already had that I didn't want. I went to a gym, I believe it was Bally's then. We went to Bally's, signed up, got a trainer. Never forget, it was like $740 a month. Man, listen, I was going to invest in me, get this weight off. But I didn't like it. You know, the guy who was supposed to train me didn't show up. When he did, I was on a treadmill. Like, all this crap I could have did at home. I knew how to do jumping jacks already. And then the things that he would make me do, I was so heavy. Like, I had breasts. I had other things that I didn't want. So my pants would fall down. You could see my behind. And it just wasn't a good fit. So I knew right then, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I can't. My dad always told me, he said, why become what you say you hate? I didn't like what they were doing, and I thought that it was the training and the system at other gyms was just like, get my card and make sure it's reoccurring, and they didn't care about what I wanted to get after that. So I decided to go into business, and I wanted to do that and help people, and that's what I actually did.
So your negative experience with gyms and people who were
Yes.
supposed to help kind of inspired you to become the helper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how did you set that in motion?
I wanted to educate myself first, so that way I knew everything about it. I got jobs that were in that field. I started off at LA Fitness as a sales manager, worked up to being a fitness director, regional VP. I've honestly, everything that I learned from LA Fitness. LA Fitness has a brilliant system, and some of it I helped with. I'm fortunate enough to do that, but LA Fitness system was pretty much flawless as far as sales and everything, and how you set up a 3-day forecast, certain things like that. But where it wasn't flawless at was customer service. That's why most gyms now, their attrition rate is out the world. You know, you can get all these people in, but keeping them happy is one thing. The worst thing you could do is sell somebody something. You present it, and you show them that it works, and then you allow them to choose what they want. So that was what I wanted to do. And sometimes, most of us, we equate everything with money. Well, how much? Your mind, if it's how much, then you're really not ready yet. Because when you know, and I'm not talking about people's finances, because everybody is in a different predicament, but that's why we have things that help out there. Maybe personal training isn't for you. Let's do group classes. You get what I mean? The personal training is more expensive because it takes you one-on-one, and I'm working solely on you. But if it's group classes, we're able to maximize your potential without minimizing the cost and the expertise that you have around you.
Right. So you, in order to get where you've gotten with the amount of following that you have, you must have affected a lot of people in a good way, and that's a great thing. So you you take your knowledge from LA Fitness and other institutions that you worked at, and tell me about your journey with Stay Fit.
Okay, so my journey was Stay Fit. I think this would have started within the last gym I was in, which was Pure Core Retro. So I actually moved here, got a transfer from Pennsylvania to New York. Started off at Retro in Bayshore. It was okay. What messed me up there was that, you know, living in another state is different when you move to New York. New York is very expensive. So my checks probably about 3, 4 grand every 2 weeks, making pretty good money. It was okay, but I could function. I could start and build in New York. My checks went from that to like 800 every 2 weeks. You will almost be homeless if you live in New
Yeah.
York and you making that. So I knew right then I needed to figure something out. That gym wasn't doing that good. They didn't have a lot of people. When in sales, they always teach you to hold accountability, so everything is your fault. When you realize that it's actually not you, you have to do something different.
Right.
So I decided that's when Stay Fit Culture was born. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go ahead and do this because the people are coming for me. Let me see how I can start my own thing and just go. So I started letting people know that I was going to be leaving. I'm building a company, and it was like I could sign them up to Retro, or I could sign them up to me. Um, it's not what you're supposed to do, but that's how I started. And where I was at, they were pretty much going out of business, and they wasn't doing people right, so they wanted to leave. And the funny thing about that, what was asked to me one day when I was doing so good, like I was leading the country in sales. So somebody asked me one day, said, I'm gonna sign up. I like it. I like you. He said, him and his wife, he said, I'm gonna ask you a question. Would you sign your mother up here? Hell no. It came out so quick. Just like that. I'm like, and he said, but why would you sign me up? Damn. That's where the integrity was born. So with that right there, I'm like, man, the reason it wasn't the training why I wouldn't sign my mom up. It was the way everything was contractually bound. And then you were in these contracts for so long. The worst thing you could do to people is 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Even though we know goals take that long, allow a person to choose. So I created a system where it's not my word, it's not my mouth that keeps you. It's the results. So you decide if you want to stay. You just have to let us know 30 days in advance when you want to cancel. Like everything is month to month.
Right.
So we've had people, 5, 6 years, 7, and it's still there. We have people that have been there from the beginning. Allow them to choose, and if you're that confident and comfortable with what you do and you're that good at it, it speaks for itself.
Speaks for itself. We have, you know, I run a mental health practice, and we have had great clinicians with us
Amen.
who have had people come to the practice because of them. People wanted to see this person, and then everyone that you get cannot always be someone that you keep for 20
Exactly.
years. And so we wish people well when they go off and do their own thing. And when people leave, sometimes they take a little customer base
Yes.
with them. And it's nothing that any company, I believe, should hold against the person, because
Yes, I agree.
it's just what happens when you have good people with you.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a great thing. So you started with a little base of a
Yes.
loyal base of clientele,
60.
60 people.
60 people
Yeah.
followed me right out the door, and we went to, well, I never see. The thing is, any level in life that you get to, you have to get, you can't, people have fear. I'm fearless, but sometimes we have fear in things that prohibit us from doing certain things. But in order for you to get to the next level, you have to progress, and some things you have to let go. You know what I mean? So I was gonna I just changed my perspectives of the way I look at things. Like this gym, I was supposed to run the training department because they were switching services they were doing out with PureCore. So I was going to take over it. We had a meeting. Then he put somebody else in there before me. And this guy wanted me to take all the 60 clients and sign them up to him. So then I would,
yeah.
they would relinquish everything. Then you could let me go, and now you got my 60. So I'm like, what type of sense does that make, buddy? And what do you think? Why would I do something that foolish? So he ended up letting me go, which was cool. So now I got out of there. Now I got what do you call it? Unemployment. Okay, so now I get unemployment. Why? And that took about 8 months. So by the time I got that, it was like $10,000. And then I already am making what I'm making in the field. And that's
Right.
you get what I'm saying. I'm in the field. I have no
Yeah.
overhead. So it set me up pretty good. I'm at like 8 months in the field, and I walked out with 60 people. So I was able to walk into the business. I was able to buy all my equipment, where a lot of people they finance it. So I didn't have an overhead.
Right.
So it was I invested. I believed in me and what I was doing. At this particular time, I didn't have a staff. It was just me. Um, Building a staff is
Yeah.
different because you build people and everybody has intentions when they come. And learning everything that I learned throughout this, I was able to navigate towards certain things where most people coming into the business won't know. For example, one time I'm in, I think I was in Vegas, a little vacation. 17 people quit. That never happens. Not all at the same time. So you automatically know when you do, but somebody's stealing right in the front door, out the back. So now I only had one staff member. Didn't say anything. I pay attention. Have to wait. Find out where he's at, what he's doing, movement, pull right up on him in a 24-hour fitness. Got some clients there. Now, you can never be mad at people for doing what they want to do, choosing to spend their money elsewhere. But what I can have a problem with is when somebody is taking it and
Yeah.
oh, this man was making about $1,400 a week during the pandemic. That's a little bit hard. So I was helping. I felt some type of way, but once again, being in business, it's my fault. So I had to take accountability, and I had to make sure that the next time things like that don't happen. So after I let them go, got some new people. They're still here, and it's
Yeah.
like the thing about it is you teach, you have to be exactly what it is that you expect from people. You know, I'm a janitor. I wear many hats. I wash windows, I vacuum, I do everything that we have to do to be successful, and so does every last staff member. And most importantly, when I say what I do, I empower, uplift, and inspire those that are in position and even the ones that are not to make a difference in people's lives. So when you do that, I don't hire people to work in our gyms. I hire people to be bosses in our gyms. I hire people to create their own pay. So you come into the gym and it's not just a job. It's not a gym job. If you think it's a gym job, you won't be here long. This job is performance based. So for example, if you come in with clients, you win. If you have none, we'll try to get you some and we'll work together. But the thing is, our pay structure is so different because most gyms, I understood why the trainer who was training me, why I didn't like, because they weren't getting paid. So of course I was on a treadmill. He sold me a package I was paying $780 for, but he might have been making 200 or made that one time in commission. So what I do is I make sure everybody gets a percentage of everything that comes in a month. You get what I'm saying? So if you get a 40% split and somebody's paying 1,000, but you get that from 10 people a month, 400 a month, that's 4,000 on top of what you would make through other things. So now you have the potential to make 15, 10,000 a month or more, or 400. It depends on what you want to do. So it's
That's
no limit.
brilliant. That's
Yes,
brilliant. And so people have an incentive to truly engage their
exactly.
clients.
Exactly.
Yeah, and make sure that engagement is meaningful so that people want to be there.
Yes. Yes. So the door is open for those who are interested and want to be. It's a difference if you want to train or you want to make a career out of it. Like, and we go into schools, we mentor, we do community days. We talk about it because a lot of people want to be trainers. They see all these things on Instagram, but they don't know that a lot of the trainers are starving. They're not making any money because the gyms aren't set up for them to make money. It's set up for the gym to make money off of commission. So you have to, in order for a trainer to make money in a gym, they have to consistently sell. In order for trainers and fitness experts to make money with us, they have to keep the people that they have. It's different that way. Your
Retain.
attrition rate exactly
Yeah.
is not skyrocket from other people not liking it, and that's why we have a 5-star rating without one bad review. Not saying it won't come, but it's not there yet.
No, that's wonderful, and you know, I'm sure there's a bunch of people who would give Stay Fit credit for being life changing for them too in terms of career, because if you're passionate about doing the work, it's hard to stay passionate about it if you are underpaid consistently.
Very true.
And it's one of the problems with the mental health business is that when you take insurance, insurance companies often underpay. So if the company makes a little bit, we can only give our clinicians a little bit, and that it can be a problem. So that's great that you have a system that actually rewards people for retaining clientele for the gym, and each person is having a meaningful experience with their trainer. So that's a good thing. And really what I see is that fitness is not recognized for what it is, which is a way for people to stay alive,
Yes.
to maintain a high level of quality of life,
Yes,
and it goes right hand in hand with mental health.
it does. Mind, body, and spirit are the three
body.
components.
Right.
Now, with fitness, right? We go into the schools. We help the kids. We help the teachers. We have wellness, and we have different things. Turning, how teaching kids how to take those obstacles and turn them right into opportunity. You know what I mean? These are the things that we are in schools doing now. I'm at research and service high school. I'm at a few more, but this one particularly sticks out to me right now. Principal Allison Farrington, she has a pantry in her school. A lot of people who most know, but some don't. This lady loves what she does so much, and she loves these kids. And when you're in certain areas, sometimes we have problems eating. Sometimes it's just not like that. She built a pantry. Just about a month ago, it was a person had an interview, and they were talking about change in life. And I believe this one person, she tried to commit suicide a few times. I think she's a slasher of her wrist. And she said she doesn't do it anymore. She said she no longer wants to do that. And we were all like, why? What changed? She said it's these trainers that come into my school at least once or twice a week. And, I feel pain from training, but it's a different pain. Me cutting my wrist, I didn't feel that pain anymore. This pain, I feel it, but I'm going to get better. I mean, when I heard that, like, tears came out of my eyes. It's like she, we're affecting people. You know what I mean? And if sometimes you got to look at it, if you're not contributing to something, then you're contaminating it. We're actually impacting lives. And I'm not doing it all by myself. It's a team behind me. It's no I in team, but I will get out there and do the things that we have to so we can be successful in it. And I'm not alone with that. We go into these schools and we change the way they think. And these kids, unfortunately, it's not do as I say, but it's do as I see. And a lot of our leaders, they're in positions to lead, but it doesn't mean they're doing a great job at it. It's just like sometimes in church or wherever, we got people that are calling you to it, and then you have people that are preaching. Sometimes it's the opposite, so we're losing our youth. It's nothing like, people that are just not interesting, and that's what we deal with every day. So I go in there, I speak into them, we speak life, we ask them questions, how to participate, what's your favorite color, what do you like to do, and we listen. And they give us feedback, and we joke and we laugh and we play and we work out.
Right.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And when we talk to the teachers, we're doing these things too, and the principals, and everybody's participating. Everybody's losing weight. Some of them are gaining weight, the ones that want to, but they're healthier, and everybody's happy. You know that saying, when you look better, you feel better, you do better. It works. And now, you take that onto other things, elements in life, and you're successful at your job, and then you inspire other people. That's why we do so much filming and recording, and that's why my followers go up like that, because people actually see what you're doing, and then they want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's statistics that demonstrate that obesity is up.
Yes.
Heart disease, diabetes, and the preventable ailments have been problematic for decades, especially for people of color, and are even more. The percentages are up even more over the last decade. So, do you have a story of testimony for me about someone who, without naming them, by name, who has changed their life based on what you're doing with them?
Everyone. I mean, it's hard to say one, but I have a page full of testimonies. I have a page full of before and afters. And the thing is, this is what I want to say. I want to leave you with a jewel, and this is what I tell everyone. It is no competition. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't believe in ninth place trophies. I mean, first, second, third. I'm not saying everybody needs a participation trophy here, but the thing is, your only competition is you. As long as you outdo yourself every time you work out, then you get better every day. That's how you progress. So when you come in there, we do things within different parameters. It might be times. We have 2-minute drills, and we do certain things. But it's not that we're not going to stop. It's not that we're going to get tired. Everybody don't feel like doing this every day. No, I don't every day, but I get out and do it because I'm the leader. If I don't feel like doing it now, I got to hear somebody else's excuse. And excuses are a mountain that leads to nothing. So if you're going to keep making excuses, you can't be upset and make excuses because you didn't receive results for the work that you didn't put in. And you're going to look exactly like the work that you put in. So I tell people, how many I got to do? 10? If you want to look like you did 10, then do 10. I mean, but we don't, we live in a world, it's different now. Look at the athletes, man. When we were younger, they played in Converse. These kids will rip them. As soon as you go to stop and jerk, you can't, these sneaks won't hold him. Different kind of athlete. We got hybrid athletes. You got to train them like hybrid athletes.
Yeah.
You got mothers. You got that want to get snapped back after childbirth. You know what I mean? We got to do it. And it requires a certain level of patience. It requires a certain level of expertise, and we have it. I have a staff, man. We're really diligent. Jason, Vaughn, Tyler. Not Tyler. Jason, Vaughn, Tyson. Sarah, Stu, Khalil. I have another Khalil.
Another Khalil.
Yeah, it's another
I thought
one.
you were talking about yourself in the
No.
third person.
Well, that was tight. Yeah, we got it, man. We got Dana. Listen, we have some people, man. Cash, that are dedicated and really love it, and we also have members. You know what I mean? That really love it and will speak highly. So sometimes when you are who you're supposed to be, you don't have to say much. Everybody else will do it.
That's right. Stay Fit Culture, located at 60 East Merrick Road, Valley Stream.
And 14 West Main Street, Bayshore. And we're looking at a place now in Seaford. And if it works, it works. We leave it in God's hand. In Mineola.
And Mineola.
One or the other.
Oh, one or the
in
other.
that,
Seaford
yeah.
or Mineola. Okay. I mean, it's great, man. It's needed everywhere.
Yes. Amen.
Just like, people, the famous question is, maybe you need to, maybe you need to talk to someone, when it comes to mental health. But often we believe that it would benefit the person to get up, go outside, walk, eat something different than the fried food and bread that people are consuming too much of. It's all connected, mind, body, and
Yes, it is.
mind, body,
Yes,
mind,
it is.
body,
Mind,
and
body, spirit.
spirit. Yeah, it's a great thing. And so if you had a dream of just unlimited reach, how would you see this? Would you like to have stay fit on a national level?
Definitely, definitely, and that's where we're headed. That's the aim.
Mm-hmm.
Prayed on it, claimed it. Wise woman gave me an acronym, and I use it. Speak what I seek until I see what I said.
Speak what I seek.
Speak what you seek. It's a difference. For
Speak what
examples,
you seek.
they say speak things into existence.
Right.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
But you can speak anything into existence. You can speak bad stuff into existence. I knew you was going to cheat on me. You break my heart. You hurt my feelings. Speak all that, and that's happening. I don't speak that. I only speak the things that I seek until I see what I said. I'm not speaking anything other than that. I'm going to speak what I seek until I see what I said. Tell my daughter that every day. My daughters, we said, I speak what I seek till I see what I said. 3 years old, repeats it. Don't sound quite like me, but she says it. And everything is right about me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And this is what we have to tell our kids. And this is the importance of going to these schools when these kids see people that look like you and I, black and brown, and they come in there and they're successful and they're happy with what they do and they have a message. And it works. When I was in school, there had people that came up and, like I think I was telling you before, it's like, I'm an astronaut. I mean, no knock to anything. It's great, but I'm glad you're an astronaut, buddy. But I want to eat. I haven't eaten in like 3 days. I mean, I can't really say nothing because you'll take me out of my household. So, these are the things. Not only do we have to be aware, we have to be socially aware, economically aware. There's so many different levels of awareness we have to have when we're dealing with people, but we also have to have patience, love, and kindness. You go into a school and you tell somebody to unzip their coat, you have to understand, is that your way or is it what needs to be done? Because the minute they unzip, the reason why don't you try to find out why they have their coat zipped up?
Yeah.
Read a book by Oprah. It said, it's called Stop Asking, basically, what's wrong with somebody till you find out what happened to them. You know what I mean? So you have to really understand people. And what I've learned is the reason that coat is zipped up because a lot of people have a problem with hygiene. They may not have soap, may not have washed up. So the minute that coat is unzipped, now he's getting bullied. And you just created another problem because you didn't know, because you wanted him to take his coat off. So these are the people that's leading.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if we just take a little bit of time to get out of ourselves and try to make these kids do the things that we want them to do and understand that they're different. They're understanding things and grasping different concepts at a higher level than we ever could, because their chance and the way that they get and receive knowledge these days are impeccable. You know what I mean? Like knowledge, they got phones, they got internet. They had none of that.
So available.
Yes, and by the time we got an encyclopedia, man, we forgot. Nobody wanted to know anymore. It didn't even matter. Just like when some people get sick and by the time you get meds, you feel better. So, you have to be alert. You have to be attentive, and you have to ask questions, and you have to listen, because these children are very, very intelligent, and they will tell you exactly the ways that you can help them. The problem is we think we know everything, and we just don't. And the minute you become humble in that aspect, then you have so much more room to grow and help people.
Yeah. There's a universal thing that the elders know some of the pitfalls, and because we know some of the pitfalls, we want to protect the younger from the pitfalls. Yet that doesn't always mean that we know how to guide them into what they need, because young people, when we were talking pre this recording, we were talking about how young people need to be exposed to a variety of things so that they can make informed choices. And I mean, I think you're right that, well, first of all, when young people walk into schools, sometimes there's a anti-authority thing that they walk in with, and so if you tell them, you know, take this off, sit like this, wear this, don't do that, or else you're going to be in trouble. Sometimes it can create an environment for them where, you know,
Uncomfortable.
right, right. It's like burdens that you're putting on them
Exactly.
before the learning experience even takes place.
And Don, how do we create? How do we protect them from pitfalls? Ultimately, we're not God. You know what I mean? God has a design for your life and things that you can't interfere. It's the same in the Bible. It says, lean on God and not your own understanding. So, you can't give what's holy to the dogs. You can't present a person with knowledge before they're ready to receive it. So when you're dealing with children, you have to understand that they have their path. Like you trying to, my mother tried to protect me from pitfalls. What could protect me from the death of my wife? What could protect me from knowing that she was going to give birth and never come home? You know, all of the things and the traumas that I've led up to make you stronger for different points, but nothing that was by yet my strongest one. So it's like nothing prepares you. You got to walk into it, and you just got to stand up, and you got to understand that it's going to be trauma and it's going to be things. And one thing I never did was give up my faith. Like to reiterate on that story a little bit. So 2020, um, 2020 was, you know, we were supposed to be moving, getting a house. My wife was pregnant. She went into a hospital, went to Long Island Jewish, good hospital right here. Things happen. Went in, they nicked her into a scheduled C-section, nicked her intestine. She died of septic poisoning, never made it out. For so long, I was upset, pissed, blame the hospital, blame everybody. This was something that I couldn't really take accountability for when I said I'm master taking accountability. So what I did, everything that bothered me, it would like kind of it didn't define her legacy. I'm not going to just hold on to this last moment when it was just really trauma and it was brutal. So I had to, it's a saying, surrender. For us as black and Hispanic people, when we hear surrender, it's hands up against the wall. I feel somebody's taking something from us, but it's different when it's God. I had the ability to surrender and give it to God. So no matter what therapy I went through, no matter what, until you truly understand that you have the power to surrender, relinquish certain things, and let it go, that was what helped me. So I actually, when I'm speaking or I'm talking to people that go through situations like that, I'm not trying to diminish their pain or stop because I can't. I can't tell a person how to grieve, but I can tell them some of the outlets that I used, and hopefully it'll help them. So I use my life as a walking testimony, a billboard to help people. That's just what I wanted to do. And that was why I went into business in the first place, because my goal, of course, you want to make money, but that wasn't my number one goal. My number one goal was to help people. When you help people, you'll make money. It might not be what you want all the time, but everything isn't tangible. You're not going to get something from it. But I just decided to help people. So, I forgave the hospital. It's hard. Forgave the doctors. I don't even know them. And then I moved forward, not on, because I have to be better for my daughter. I have to be better for my mother-in-law, who we still live together. You know what I mean? Like it takes a village, like I said, to raise these children. And I have a family. I have help. So, I'm blessed to have that. And my wife's legacy, I look at it like, God, I didn't have to meet her. I didn't have to. So, I chose to view things from a different perspective where it doesn't damage growth. Because how can you grow when you're hurt? You really stagnate it, or you make the process take longer. So in order for me to help somebody, I had to first help myself. And with that, I prayed, surrendered, and moved forward. And the thing is, the way I'm gonna leave it with this when it comes to birth. This is why we have to come together as people, because this is what I'm gonna relate childbirth to for a woman. As a black man and a Hispanic man, black and mixed, whoever has a son, this is rough. When a black or Hispanic man gets pulled over by the police, hands out the window, up, you don't want to get shot. You know, that is some traumatizing stuff. It'll mess you up for the next 9 months. I'm legit everything right on my car. As soon as the cops get by, I still get nervous. Don't even know why. It just, I've been pulled over so many times that it just bothers me. You know what that's related to? When women go give birth, they have a fear for their life. So when the kids are born, they come in with adrenaline and fear. You know what I mean? Just like when they say when you eat certain food, if you chop a chicken's neck off, you run around, they don't want them to die scared because you digest that and you take that. So what do you think your baby is getting?
Body's a chemical factory.
Exactly. When they give birth and they born through fear because the way they treat us in these hospitals. Black and Hispanic women are we die 8 times to 1 versus the white counterparts. It's not, it's statistical fact. So when you educate people, you have to let them know these things. And that's why people have doulas and they're doing other things. You know, it's just, this is the world we live in, and it's serious. And I like to enlighten people on that. That's part of my story. That's part of my journey. That's why I sit here and I help and I do all the things that I could do. And I don't get the chance to quit when people are coming to the gym. Everything correlates to one thing: mind, body, and spirit. I can't do it. I'm tired. I don't want to run. I don't get the chance to say I'm tired. What do you mean? I got to get up. Let's go. Can't tell my daughter I'm tired. Can't tell her, you know, so we don't get to quit, unfortunately. And it's also fortunately. Like, why would you quit? If I could quit anything, it would be bills. I can't quit none of that. So,
you know, medically, there's a bunch of corresponding statistics to what you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. And it all has to do with believing that people of color don't know what they're feeling, don't know what they're talking about with their own bodies.
They can endure more pain.
Oh yeah, there was some history behind that concept.
Man, listen, I've been on it. And some things it's just sad. But you know the reality of it is, man, like, people try to say it's not a race thing. It is, and not to get prejudiced or, but let me tell you something. Denzel Washington said it best. Some things, the dynamics of some things you learn in being black or Hispanic is different from a white person. So he was doing an interview, and white person was like, how do you figure that? He said, okay, for example, you could be right if it's psychology. You can go with a black person, white person. All right, but have you ever, some things you just won't know unless you're black. If you're like getting your head burned by a hot comb. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know too many white people could relate to that feeling. I can't relate to it, but I had a couple cousins that got burned neck, ears. So, you know, you gotta, some things you just understand socially. You understand being black and white. It's a difference. You know what I mean? It's not about right or wrong. It's just a difference. And it's about perspective, the way you look at things. You know, our culture is different. It's a different upbringing. So when you relate or you do things, it's easier for people to relate to people that they see. Like when we go into these schools, the reason kids relate to me because I look like their father, I look like their uncle, I look like everything that gets chased back in the house at night that's not getting chased anymore. So they want to know how I did it. This is how. Yeah. And when you're able to relate and do that, now we have less crime rate. Now we have less students getting pregnant in high school. So we start changing. And now what's the biggest thing that's going on in schools across the world is attendance. People aren't going. So now we have more attendance when people start realizing that we can do some other things. We have a shot out here. So now they want to show up.
Right. There's something at school that is really making a difference for me. So that adds to the likelihood that they'll show up. Mm-hmm. That, you know, just to your point that you made a moment ago, well-meaning white people would be better allies if they realize that
Yes.
they simply have to understand there's some
Understand.
stuff that they don't understand,
Exactly.
right? And not try to make a judgment on it, not try to
Exactly.
evaluate and come to some logic that you can't really be a part of. I
Exactly.
mean, people, I often tell this story, not on this platform, but just in my own life. My father used to say, "There's the police." Anytime the police were anywhere in the environment, there's the police. And there was a nervousness that he had just about the presence of them, even if they weren't looking at him. And, a lot of people who are not black would not understand the intensity of that feeling. Right?
Exactly.
But I'm an adult black man now, and I understand it perfectly.
No doubt, no doubt. And we fear for that if we have kids, and it's like, yo, do this or go outside or watch this. I'm telling you, it's just certain things. So now, I mean, yeah, we can look at things at a broader scope. When it's your time, and all of that. That sounds good on paper, but sometimes people put themselves in a position before it's your time. If you know they shooting at this club every Friday, why are you showing up on Friday? You know what I mean? Like, just don't go. So
Yeah. Those are those pitfalls
Yes.
that adults try sometimes to, shield young people from. Khalil, it's been an absolute pleasure talking
having
to you. Very insightful.
Thank you.
I appreciate your passion for
Thank you very much.
wellness as a overall thing, and keep going. If
Appreciate you, my brother.
if people want to reach you on the Stay Fit Culture platform or in any way, would you give them your handles?
I sure will. Our website is stayfitculture.com. Instagram, Stay Fit Culture. TikTok, Stay Fit Culture. YouTube, Stay Fit Culture. Everything is Stay Fit Culture. All right. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And hope I see you around the gym.
Help to Adjust presents If Testimony Was a Person. That was Mr. Khalil Carter, Stay Fit Culture. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll connect soon.